Hi, this is a teacher's guide to the Futureproof Careers Framework. Now, it's a little bit different to the content for learners, and you'll see plenty of videos explaining this that are written from a learner perspective. This one's for teachers because, there's some slightly different perspectives on, how to deliver the material, some of the thinking behind it, and questions you may get from learners responding to this content and help you know how to respond. Okay, so a little bit about my background. You don't need to remember this part. So my name's David Jaffa, EdTech entrepreneur. I'm from an immigrant family and we had some early challenges in my childhood to do with the Northern Ireland Troubles. The main thing I've done in my career is probably SAM Learning before starting the National Talent Academy. So SAM Learning is an online learning resource for GCSEs and Key Stage 3 academic subjects, homework and revision, that's been used in thousands of schools. It was one of the first EdTech products really to work at scale in the schools market. We've worked internationally. We had a division in America of SAM Learning that was called something else, but that we grew and sold. And we've worked in India, Ukraine now, and a large number of British overseas schools over the years. So we've got an international perspective. The R&D work, let's say, on the Futureproof Careers Framework, the first piece was done in a project with Alliance Manchester Business Schools, surveying employers on the skills gaps they see in young people coming in. And then we did a project during lockdown with Morgan Stanley for 2 years in a school in Tower Hamlets, figuring out where kids are in relation to understanding, in relation to workplace skills and where you can get them to. And so basically, a lot of the perspectives coming into this are from being an EdTech entrepreneur for 30 years and seeing how the workplace is changing and seeing the opportunities for that have come up during my career and also that exists now for young people. And the first thing I would say is that the future is really positive. And it's hard to overstate that because there's so much negativity around. There's so many voices, particularly on social media, saying it's all calamitous, and yet we are curing cancer and eliminating third world poverty, and that doesn't make the news as much. But the reason I think this is such an important message for young people is they are going into in doing careers work like this, they're thinking about their future. They're thinking about, who am I going to be? What am I going to contribute in the world? And if they just think it's all awful and hopeless, it's really not a good mindset for them to go into their future. And I'm not saying that the world isn't full of problems. Of course it is. But we want our young people going into that environment with an attitude that they're going to be the ones solving these problems, that change can be an opportunity. It isn't always a negative thing. So that's the philosophy we come at this with, and all the content's created with that in mind. So future-proof careers. First of all, many people would say that there's so much change. You know, there's people who are sort of negative about the future would say it's impossible. There's no, there's nothing future-proof. It's all changing all the time. So all that sort of thing, and that's really not right. So there are things that young people can bank on going into their career that will not change, and that can be a